Jordan, I feel like this is my top favorite of yours that you've done.
I feel like it was one that I was really just able to tap into the style again, you know? And I like it a lot. I've got a brand new appreciation for surrealism.
All right, welcome back to Talk Parlor number 13, the podcast where we talk about last week's Roll for Art Flash Challenge and all the things that go along with it. I'm Adam.
And I'm Jordan.
All right, Jordan. Let's jump off to segment number 1.
Yeah, our recap. So last week we had our Impressionism alcohol marker drawing done in a cool color palette and landscape. And that's actually great. Where did that vote end up at? After the 24-hour mark,
dude, it was close.
Adam was in the lead. Ended up winning. We are at, actually, after a week, we are 50-50.
No way. I never went back to look at it. Let me
yeah. Yep. Each of us. 50-50 on those. It's kind of fun to go back in because people continue to vote on it throughout the week.
Yeah, because we don't, it's not like you can just shut it down.
Right, exactly. So these posts find people, throughout the week, and they end up voting on it, and it's like, hey, it's kind of neat to see that it still goes.
Yeah, but for our purposes, it's generally around 24 hours.
Right.
Maybe a touch longer. It just kind of depends, but generally around 24 hours for our purposes. But 50-50, that's not the first 50-50.
Right, yeah. It's not the first, not that time.
I think you'd have to go all the way back to, what week?
That was
7, 8, 9, the tattoo challenge.
Right, I think it was
fake skin tattoo.
Yeah, I think it was 8.
Maybe
week 8 or week 9. Week 9 actually sounds right. And that was whenever we did the fake skin tattoo, and we both did the same image and tattooed the same image. And it was neat to see people pick which one, Yeah.
Yeah, because it really come down to
the
style.
Technical aspect.
Yeah, the technical aspect,
we both did the same
style. Yeah. All right. Well, I guess when I refer to style, I guess I meant just how we each did it
the
differently.
Same thing, but differently.
Correct.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
But yeah, I didn't go back and look at it to see what it finished up at, but to see that it was up, 50-50, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it is pretty cool. Yeah, we hit that a few days ago.
Cool.
Yeah. All right. How about this week's challenge? So this week we had to do Surrealism, a robot, and we did it in charcoal.
Yeah.
And how'd you feel after this one?
This was the second charcoal surrealism challenge?
Yeah, it was our second charcoal surrealism.
It was kind of odd that we got, another charcoal, another surrealism, so that was kind of wild. I really enjoyed it. I had an idea in my mind and kind of took off with it. I really had no intention of, I just had an idea in my mind. And I really liked the idea. And then my wife come in the room where I draw, and she's like, "Oh, you're drawing Wally." I'm like, "Wait, what?"
Yeah.
Well, what do you mean Wally? I'm like, this is my idea. This is my robot.
Yeah.
My little guy holding a little plant. I've never seen the movie Wall-E.
Or know what Mr. Wally is all about.
Correct. And so I was like, well, okay. I guess I wasn't the first to think about this idea. And
yeah, they did a whole movie on it.
Well, clearly. That I've never seen, so maybe I should have started there. Maybe I should have started watching Wall-E first.
Right.
And then decided what I was going to do. But, yeah, so, all joking aside, I really enjoyed it. I thought it was fun. I really am finding out that I like working with charcoal a lot more.
I really enjoy the charcoal as well. I think it might be moving up there with graphite pencil for me. And my favorite mediums.
It's getting close. I mean, I think it seems to be very smooth.
Yeah, it is definitely smooth.
Once you can get over the aspect of it getting everywhere,
Yeah.
then yeah, it's just very smooth. I don't know. I just really have come accustomed to liking it a lot.
I like it too.
And I think it mixes well with other mediums.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, we've had a good experience with that.
Anyway, how about, well, it was your week for research. Because we've kind of started this thing. I mean, research has always been kind of our things to talk about. But last week I really did impressionism, and I asked Jordan, how she felt about doing some research for surrealism, and maybe we can alternate week after week. What do you think?
Yeah, I think that's great. I think we talked about that last time.
Did we? I don't remember.
Yeah.
My weeks run from week to week.
Yeah.
So if we did, I'm sorry, but I think that's what we're going to start doing.
But yeah, so with this challenge also, whenever we got the dice roll, I was pretty nervous about it to revisit surrealism, but I'm really glad that we were able to. Yeah, it was cool, and I was very excited to do the robot, because that's something completely new that we haven't done yet, that I was really excited for,
Yeah, robot, did you automatically have an idea in your head what you were going to do?
Automatically, I thought of Wall-E. Remember, I brought that up.
Oh, I do.
Yeah. So, this one time in high school, I won a piece in and I won an art show, and I ended up making a trash sculpture of Wall-E, and so that was pretty neat. And that's where my mind instantly went to, because that's a robot that I've done before. And then I'll get in later about how I actually came up with my design.
Dude, I love your design.
Thank you. I really like it too. I really like it too. But yeah, so research. I did quite a little bit of reading up this week. I'd read up on different articles and listened to quite a few things on YouTube about surrealism. And it's kind of wild how it started. So surrealism came out of Europe after World War I, when a lot of artists were basically fed up with logic and structure. They felt like rational thinking was supposed to move humanity forward, but instead it led to war and mass destruction, what they were going through at that time. So artists started asking, what if logic isn't the truth? What if the real stuff lives somewhere deeper? And that's where the psychology comes in. Especially, I am going to butcher this man's last name, because it is, I believe it's like French or something. It's or I could be wrong also. Sigmund Freud.
Oh no, it's Sigmund Freud.
Sigmund Freud.
Yeah, Sigmund Freud.
I was reading that too real then.
Yeah, no, Sigmund Freud.
Mm-hmm. His ideas about dreams and the unconscious mind were huge, and surrealists believed that dreams, fears, and supposed thoughts were more honest than what we show on the surface. For example, you ask somebody who in their life is having an absolute terrible time, and you say, "Hey, how you doing?" What's their first response? Good.
Yeah. Good. Regardless
Yeah.
of how they're doing.
Right. So it's searching deeper within yourself, and bringing out your unconscious mind. So in 1924, a writer named Andre Breton officially coined the movement with something called the Surrealist Manifesto. He describes surrealism as creating without censorship, basically letting your mind wander without worrying if it makes sense or not. Which honestly sounds like most artists already, but from there, painters started turning those ideas into visuals. You get artists like Salvador Dali, who painted super realistic scenes, but filled them with impossible things like melting clocks, distorted bodies, endless landscapes, and stuff that feels like a dream you can remember but don't fully understand. Other artists like René Magritte took normal objects and made them unsettling by just changing the context, like a pipe that isn't a pipe, or a face hidden behind an apple. So surrealism isn't really about being weird for the sake of it. It's about making the invisible visible. Thoughts, emotions, fears, memories, things that don't follow real world rules. When I first asked Kate, my friend, what surrealism is, what did she say?
Just
break the rules.
Break the rules.
Exactly. So that really resonated with me, and it's like, that makes sense. And honestly, that's why it still works today. Surrealism gives artists permission to say, this doesn't need to make sense. It just needs to feel right.
I like that.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's such a crazy art form.
Yeah, it is. And I love how it breaks the normal.
Yes. It to me, it's kind of like new school. In the fact that new school, okay, it's not new school to me is like you have something, but then you get the opportunity to change with the play with the shapes.
Yeah,
you get to exaggerate the shapes. You get to exaggerate the color combinations. You get to do all these things that you wouldn't normally get to do, and to me, that makes it more fun.
I agree. It's definitely, it's so much more fun whenever you can take something and you're not just copying the image in front of you, piece by piece or something like that. You get to put your own sense into it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's no constraints. I think is the best way to put that. There's really no constraints in new school. There's obviously no constraints whatsoever in surrealism.
Right.
I mean, you can do whatever crap you really want to do. So yeah, it's kind of, I find I can relate the two. I mean, obviously I know they're two totally separate different styles, but to me there is a relationship there that they do hold. But, well,
they're both breaking the rules, of what the normal is.
Right.
Yeah.
So kind of interesting. I did not know that like you had said, that it started kind of back with Sigmund Freud.
Yeah.
And that dude, like I said,
I'll look up more of his stuff. Kate has also mentioned him before.
Yeah,
so.
he's I believe he's a philosopher. I'm almost positive that that's what he is a philosopher, famous philosopher, and man, some of his theories, they're
pretty
out
cool
there.
Stuff.
Well, that's cool. Some of them are cool, but some of them are out there. There's, just like I said, sometimes jump into it and just kind of read some of his stuff. I mean, some of the theories and stuff that he does psychologically make sense, and then some of them are like, whoa,
that's
buddy.
Out of this world.
Yeah, whoa, buddy. Whoa, 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 whoa.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I thought that was intriguing. I didn't know that.
Yeah, it was cool to research, and it was nice to really dive into true meaning of it.
Right. And I think also, not that you didn't appreciate surrealism before, but did you?
It took me to a different place with it.
Right. And that's what I found with Impressionism. It allowed me to think of it in a different way.
Right.
Instead of
Impressionism.
Yeah. This sucks.
Not this style again.
Right.
Because granted, it is a style, but you can do that style however you want to do that style. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
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 So let's jump into design phase. How'd you come up with your guy?
Well, like I said, it really started more with a thought, and something I've been really trying to play around more lately, and I hope it's showing through some of my work. I've been trying to understand how to portray more feeling within my art. Versus just putting something on a piece of paper. How can I level it up, and give the viewer something to feel through the imagery. So, with AI coming in and really starting to take over a lot of different facets of our life, and not understanding where it could potentially go, I wanted to try to design something that kind of portrayed that feeling like a robot obviously is something, we have robots now, but when we think about robots,
right, we don't necessarily think Tesla robots.
Correct.
Immediately.
You know, what we think of is something like what we've drawn.
Yeah.
Right. Or Rosie off of the Jetsons. You know, that's
Right.
usually our first interaction with a robot. And you know, I wanted to capture that. You know, this robot in a form that we think of it as, in a point in maybe its life cycle that has felt like it's gone too far, and it just wants to come back and wants to go back. So I was, you know, how do I do that? Well, you know, when I think of a robot in that particular setting, I'm thinking way into the future. Everything is, you know, metal, and everything is just, you know, there's no grass left, there's no trees left.
Yeah.
You know, it's I think you said it earlier, gives you like a Fallout type vibe.
Yeah.
You know, and then I wanted the robot holding, you know, some form of organic life. And then a background of what that life used to be like, and, you know, portray that robot to be sad and wanting to go back to that place that does not that no longer exists.
I like that idea a lot.
So that's kind of where my design phase went. Again, little did I know that's the vast majority of what freaking Wally's about. So
Right. Yeah, a little bit. It definitely can be in another futuristic Wally, for sure. He finds a planet, and then Eve comes and gets him, and he goes with her, and two robots fall in love.
yeah, now you're talking way above and outside my expertise, because again, I've never seen the movie, so
It's a good one. We might just watch it later.
Who
knows?
Yeah, I just that was, you know, really kind of how I come up with my design and what I wanted, you know, what I wanted to do.
Nice. That's awesome.
How about yours? Because yours, let me tell you something. This piece, amazing.
Thank you.
Love it.
Thank
for,
you very,
for
very
surrealism. I just, whatever part of your brain you tapped into to get this, wow.
I had an experience with it for sure. And I really, gosh, I loved designing this one, and it was just so cool. So I kind of meditated on it, you know? So I took inspiration from 3 Dali paintings. Another painting that a lot of people say it's a Dali, but they don't think that it is, and I can't remember who actually did it and where it came from. But I took inspiration from those 4 paintings, and I turned on some overthinker music, and I literally meditated in my art studio.
So what's that like?
Pretty close.
Like this? I mean,
Pretty close. Just home, get weird, home. You know? It was pretty close.
I was just curious. I've never meditated, so I wasn't sure how that all works.
I like literally meditated on this idea because something that I ran into with our last 2 Surrealism challenges was, how can I put myself into this and bring it from my unconscious mind? You know what I mean? While I was thinking about it, I was also thinking of a conversation I'd had with a friend of mine, and about how I do not really relate to a lot of people in the world today. And, you know, we just run into these people that all they do is they just work, sleep, work, watch reality television, go to sleep, work, watch Secret Lives of the Wives, you know, those people, and then they go to sleep, and that's like all their identity is,
right.
You know? And my friends and I, we call them NPCs. They're non-player characters, you know? They just exist, and I don't want to be that person, you know? And then something also happened this week at my job, and I was just like, I can't believe, like, That's what we're talking about right now. And I was like, I can't stand this world that we live in sometimes. And then I just started thinking about that, and so often, I'll tell Bree, I'll tell my parents, I'm just like, I can't stand this world, this greedy world that we live in, Gosh, it's tax season, you know what I mean? And I have those same thoughts again, and I'm just like, why, So, I started thinking about how, like, we're just watching this time go. I mean, it's been, I'm knocking on the door of 30,
Shoot.
and I'm nearly there, and I
it.
just think about how fast it's gone, and how, what do I do today? I have my art, I have my hobbies that makes me me, but I get up and I go to work and I do this and I clock in, and I'm just going, from point A to point B, and I'm just trying to get to the next point and trying to get to the next point, and we were just watching ourselves, go. And my wife and I, like, we had another talk this week about how, like, aging just sucks, and we see these people in our lives, and they're just going, and they're going in this world that we live in, and we are just observing ourselves fading away, and we're seeing this world get worse and worse with just everything is about, buy, obey, buy. And that's what took me into this rabbit hole in my mind of creating this robot. I also took a lot of inspiration from the film I, Robot, and how I designed this guy. So I just started laying it down, and if you look, he has human in him as well. Mm-hmm. And so, for example, his right hand, still human, his brain is still human, but there's gears and everything controlling him and stuff like this. And the eye, he's just watching himself go, he's looking somewhere, just it's just going, you know what I mean? So I put, like, all those feelings about how we're just watching ourselves fade away, and we're just becoming more and more obey, buy, we're just machines, you know what I mean? And I put that in here.
And I think it 100% portrays that.
Thanks.
I really
like
do.
it.
I mean, that's, again, I feel like that's the same for you. Trying to put feeling into your work that the viewer can feel.
Yeah.
They're not just looking at it, they can feel it.
Yeah, exactly.
And
that's what I love that so much about art.
And I think sometimes, sometimes do we do something that's just, going to be on a piece of paper? Mm-hmm. Sure, we do.
Right.
But there are times when we do get certain challenges that do allow us to put a feeling onto paper. And that's one of the many things that I love about this what we've created. Mm-hmm. Because it's interesting. Not only are we doing stuff that you'd never think about, but it's giving you opportunities to really free your mind.
Right.
It gives you an outlet to put your thoughts and everything into it, or onto a piece of paper in a different medium than words.
Yes, I definitely agree with that.
And to me, that's a very special thing. You're right. It's very scary to understand, to try to wrap your mind around where this world's going to go.
Yeah.
And why it is people are robots.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. The NPCs, non-player characters.
Yeah.
And that's another thing, is this world, we're just losing everything that makes us us. People, all they want to do, scroll on their phone, and there's nothing. It's like, what makes you you know?
And you had said something that really captured my attention, and it was, they go to work, they come home, they watch reality TV. It's like they're watching these reality TV shows about other people to free
Right.
themselves of their own life.
Yes, and it's like, what, that's what you do. You live through the television. You live through these other people.
It's not healthy,
Oh,
but, those who have put these things in place are, they've accomplished what they've wanted to accomplish.
yeah, exactly.
And it's unfortunate, but it's given us an opportunity to express our feelings through work, though, through
Yeah.
art, through
Yeah.
artwork. So it's unfortunate in some aspects, but it's fortunate in others. So yeah, I think it's a cool situation in a sense if you really think about
Let's
it.
put it on paper.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is pretty darn cool.
So, did you do any other stuff for your design or just?
No,
Just
that's it. I just
meditated.
meditated and
I love it.
took inspiration from Salvador Dali. Right, because I'm not, like we had talked about how we just want somebody to get blasted, and like,
Right.
write this down.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Yeah, because surrealism, like you said, that's a lot of Sigmund Freud is tapping into the unconscious.
Yeah,
and-
exactly. And so that's why I was like, let's put on this mood music. I've looked at these paintings in front of me. Okay, I have inspiration here. I know what a robot looks like. What do I want my robot to look like?
Right.
And how can I relate to it? And that's a problem that I've had, especially with the Hellcat challenge, is I just couldn't relate to that,
Right, right.
I'm like, okay, it's a car. Right on.
Where do I go from here?
Cool. Okay.
That's
So
funny.
my design on that, I was just like, okay, what do I do? I don't know what to do.
Well,
And so with this, I could actually relate to it and pull myself into somewhere that I didn't know that I could go.
yeah, and that's cool.
Yeah.
And you fully pulled it off.
Thank you.
So, I guess titles and artist statements.
Yeah, you want to go?
Sure. So the title for mine is Desperation, which I felt is mostly fitting. Mm-hmm. And my artist statement, I think I kind of touched on it already. And like I said, I just wanted to portray this feeling. And I find it very interesting that, we have two separate pieces that are two completely different things.
Mm-hmm.
However, without ever talking about it, without ever discussing it, the concept of what we wanted to portray and feel was very, very similar.
Yeah, it definitely was.
So that was why I'm finding that to be wild. But I wanted to portray that feeling of desperation, that desperate feeling of wanting to go back.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's this robot's life, who has gone way too far into the future, he'll never be able to go back because that place no longer exists.
Right, and just reminiscing on
Right.
what there was.
Right. Or whether that's just you said it yourself. You're 30 years old.
Yeah.
Or knocking on the door at 30. How often do you want to go back to a simpler time when you were a kid?
Oh my gosh, so often. And that's like another thing that I could relate with this image here. Was just like, it's all going away. We think even just 10 years ago how
Yeah.
different everything was. Before that, put 20 years on top of that. Holy smokes.
Yeah.
Growing up, this is not the same place that it used to be.
No.
Not even
it's-
close.
And that's the feeling that I wanted to portray. I wanted to portray that desperate feeling that I would say the vast majority of people feel at some point in their life of wanting to go back to a simpler time.
Yeah.
A time of not so much chaos. A time of when they don't have to just It wasn't, get up, go to work, come home, eat, go to bed, get up, go to work, come home,
Right.
eat.
Now it's just all,
it's a
it's
constant
like all about
rotation.
survival,
Yeah, it's a constant rotation. And everybody puts their life on loop. And it's the same loop, day after day after day. And that's what I wanted to portray. I wanted to portray that desperate feeling of wanting to go back when there was time to spend with your family, when there was time to do this, when there was time to do that. That's what I wanted to portray. And I think
You definitely did. Yeah, definitely captured it.
So.
And you also captured like a sense of wonder and curiosity as well,
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
what is this? Haven't seen this before.
Right.
Yeah, I wish I could have been a part of this.
Right, exactly. Yeah. Exactly. So
yeah,
that's kind of my title, that's my artist statement. So how about yours?
So for mine, I am calling mine Losing Humanity.
Ooh, I love that.
Yeah.
Dude, that is amazing.
That's where all stemmed from for me, is the world is changing, and it's changing fast. And, I just wanted to portray, there is sadness here, but I wanted to portray that loss, that it's going away. On my robot's right arm, there is a human hand, and then you can tell that hand is kind of going along. I almost kind of wanted to do like a sandstorm feel, but rather I was just like, this looks cool. I'm going to pull this and erase this out and erase that out, and it's neat. It does show that direction of fade and movement that takes the realism of the human hand away, and shows that this is a robot, mostly fully a robot, and that hand is connected to the robotic arm, and I really enjoyed, once I looked at a lot of surrealism paintings, a lot of them just kind of throw in this eye that is just watching and observing, and I was like, that is so perfect. If I just push this back here, it shows that observation of this is going, we are losing this. So I just wanted to portray all of that, with the surrealism vibe and everything in there. And yeah, everything is just losing its humanity. It all is. The world is completely different and changing all around you.
I love the way you put that into a drawing.
Thank you.
Like, I will have to say, this is probably one of my top favorites for you.
Yeah.
For myself.
Me too.
For myself,
Me too.
This is one of my top favorites for you.
And there's just so much emotion whenever I look at it, and granted, you can look at it and you're like, what the heck is going on here? But it's like, it makes sense, It makes sense.
Yeah, it does. It really, truly does. And that's why, I wish we could get more people to listen to the podcast, because sometimes this is the way you understand
Exactly
what was going through our minds when we did this, and it helps. It aids you in, kind of the journey that is from your brain to the paper.
Right. How do we get these concepts? How do we get these designs?
Right.
What do we do for ourselves? What are we seeing inside of ourselves that bring us to this point?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I don't know. Shall we move on to likes?
Yeah, you want to start off with likes?
I suppose I could start off with some likes. Can you give me a picture?
Yeah.
There we go.
Right there.
Oh, mercy. So,
Right
here. Yeah. There's a lot of stuff that I like about this. For starters, I tried to pull off my classic metal look.
It's so good.
I said, I was joking around with Jordan when we rolled this. I'm like, she's like, what are you going to do? I said, I honestly have no idea at this point, but what I can tell you it's probably going to have a whole lot of metal in it.
You said, I'm just going to metal the crap out of this thing.
And she looks at me and she goes, you suck.
Yeah.
With a little more veracity in her voice.
You suck.
Yeah. You know, so I don't know. I don't know. I just kind of, I was thinking of Iron Man, you know, and then I was thinking robot, hydraulic. I took it to more of a mechanical level, you know, hydraulic fluid, electric lines, you know, all these different things that would make a robot a robot. And so I just kind of started going crazy, and then I realized about halfway down his neck that this may have been a mistake, because this is a ton of detail.
Yeah.
But I started, I will say this, normally when I draw, and I don't know how you do it, but normally when I draw, I start from the bottom and I work my way up. On this, I started at the top and worked my way down.
That's a good idea.
Because I was like, I was afraid that I was going to start smudging and smearing everything. So it was a learning curve. Like, it's weird to train your brain, you know, because for whatever reason, we're all trained to draw from the bottom right or bottom left corner and go up. And like I said, I just wanted to start at the top and work my way down. So like I said, I just wanted to add as much detail as I could, and there was a period of time where I thought I made a mistake and had added too much detail just because of the time that it was taking me to pack it in there. I wanted lots of circles because I knew I wanted to try to give it smoothness, you know, and I feel I like how it does appear smooth, and I like how certain parts of it are very shiny. But then I also really wanted to play with saturation and really saturate those deep, dark spots to try to push everything else forward. You know, I felt like it was very important for him to be, you know, looking down at his hands. And that was kind of something I didn't know if I should have put a little more tilt on his head or if I should have backed it off, but I think you can clearly tell that he's looking at his hands.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
You know, I like the way it turned out. You know, the more detail I put in it, and the further down I come on him, the better I liked it. You know, at first I was just like, I don't know about this. I don't know. And, you know, especially when you're starting to play around with circles and trying to make sure that those circles look proportionate and not oblong, but then sometimes some of the circles need to be oblong so that they you know, fit a curvature of a body part or something. But, you know, overall, I love the way it turned out. I love, you know, I just love the overall feeling. Now, he does have tears coming off of him, and I don't know if you can see that. I wish that I could have got those to pop a little bit more.
It's hard to make something that subtle pop whenever there's so many of the same like forms around him and in different direction of cables and coils and all of that around him. But if you look at the eyes, you can see it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. You know, when I was all said and done with it, that was the one thing I wish I could have got to pop a little bit more. But to be honest, I don't. Like you said, it's very, very hard.
Yeah.
When you got a lot of other things around it that are very similar to it, shape and size wise. You know, the little plant. Nothing in particular, just a little plant, man.
Just a little plant.
Yeah. You know, and I really enjoyed the way it turned out. I think what I had in my mind to what got put on paper, I think was relatively close. The background.
So did you free sketch all this?
Yeah.
Wow. Nice.
Well,
How did you come up with everything?
Wait a minute. What do you mean by free sketch?
Like,
or did I use my grids?
No, like you came up with this robot completely. No reference for this robot.
No, I had reference. I had some reference, yeah. Really more for the head, and then like I said, there's a little bit of Iron Man inspiration in there. If you can't tell that, then I don't know. I can't help you.
Yeah.
And then I just kind of...
So did you grid it?
I did grid some of it because I really wanted the circles to be... You know, you start messing with circles, and that's a different ball game.
Right.
You know, but the way I did the grid was like, you know, because I said I was going to draw it with like the hard or the medium charcoal pencil, because I don't feel like when you take and try to take charcoal and run over graphite, it doesn't work very well. At least I don't think it does. Maybe you have a different opinion, but I don't think it works very well. Like, it's almost like when you get to that spot where the graphite is, it's just like the charcoal quits marking on the paper.
So you gridded the face.
I gridded the face.
In all this
Yeah.
That's impressive.
Well,
you free-handed.
It wasn't that difficult. Like, it was just like, look at the Iron Man inspiration, right?
Yeah.
Break those panels apart. And then start putting in lines and springs and coils and...
That's pretty impressive. This is your first, like, mostly free-handed thing.
I guess. I mean... Because I guess when you say freehand, you're saying away from the grid.
Yeah, and away from a reference photo.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you didn't have a reference photo, this is, like... impressive.
Like I said, I had multiple reference photos. I just, you know... But Iron Man, I feel like Iron Man was like kind of the biggest inspiration of it all.
That's cool.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Aside from the face. I knew I did not want to run no Iron Man face.
Oh, right. Because then you're just doing Iron Man.
Yeah, because then you're just doing Iron Man and you're breaking part of it away and just adding some hoses and whatnot. You know what I mean?
Wow. The fact that you pieced this much mechanical work from your head is so impressive.
I mean, can't really get into it, but there's something else that I did on, you know, that I pieced a lot of stuff together too. And you've seen it.
Which one?
Kyle's arm.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, good point. Your drawings.
Yeah, the drawings. Yeah. You know, I pieced all that together, you know, and some of it come from up here. But
that is cool.
I've always wanted to mess with biomechanical stuff. And I was like, this is a perfect opportunity to do that. Wow. So, but yes, Iron Man was the main inspiration for it.
You should freaking design robots, dude.
No.
This thing is cool.
No. I'm here to tell you, because like, from about there down, I was checked out.
Oh, yeah, well, geez, I can imagine.
And that was like at 10:30 last night.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was checked out. I was like, this is horrible.
Well, you nailed the metal look again.
So, thank you.
Yeah, it looks beautiful.
And then, you know, the background. How much time do you think I spent on the background?
Oh, it takes a minute to kind of get the background that you want, you know, and making stuff look like it's way in the back is pretty difficult too. I'd say at least for me it'd probably take 3 hours.
You ready for this?
What?
20 minutes.
20 minutes.
20 minutes. The entire background from down here to up there, 20 minutes.
Nice.
Man, like I said, I was checked out. I was ready to be done, and I looked at the clock, and I'm like, oh, I gotta get to bed.
Right.
And this is just not happening. I'm tired. I'm over it. I'm ready to move on with it. But you know, overall, I love it. And what's wild about it is when we started doing this, the very first Surrealism challenge that we did, I don't know if you remember what I said. You remember what I said?
No.
When we rolled Surrealism on our very first one?
That you didn't like it, that you weren't excited about it.
Didn't like it.
Yeah.
I was not excited about it. And every single Surrealism challenge to this point,
You've nailed.
I freaking loved it.
Yeah.
I have loved it.
Well, okay, that's a good question. Do you feel like you brought Surrealism with this piece?
I don't.
What about it is Surrealism?
What about it to me is Surrealism? I think, well, obviously, robots are not. I mean, to me, that is Surrealism in itself.
Okay.
Okay? In my mind, that is Surrealism in itself. Okay? Because they don't exist like that.
Right.
Okay? They exist like that up here in everybody's brain.
Right.
Mine, yours, our families, they all have this same imagery of robots in their head.
Right.
Okay? Because they don't exist. Not in this form yet.
Right. This is more the cinematic form
Correct.
of robot.
Correct. The meshing of two worlds. The Fallout world, you know, more in the foreground to the natural world more in the background.
Right.
You know, and the overall feeling, I feel like you have to include as Surrealism. You know, that desperation of wanting to go back to somewhere that no longer exists. You know, is this world always going to exist? The world that we live in, is it always going to exist?
Right.
Or are we going to move into this down here in the foreground? You know, are we going to transition into that?
Right. I see what you're saying.
And to me, I think all of those pieces together is Surrealism. Is it Surrealism in the fact of Salvador Dali? No, absolutely not. But in my, you know, I didn't want to go back because I had already done that. I had already done my form of Salvador Dali in our last Surrealism challenge. And I don't want to keep repeating. So I felt like, what can I do to maybe more so portray a feeling of Surrealism than actual what, you know, most people are accustomed to? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Or am I butchering it?
Kind of just like your own version of it. You know?
I would say yes. Yeah. Yes, that's a good way to put that.
I do think that with your background, it would have been a very great opportunity to put like the surrealistic features back there. You know what I mean?
I do agree. I do agree.
And that would make it undeniably surrealism.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But granted, Big Dog, you freaking frockin' mechanically assessed a robot on your own, which is incredible.
Yeah, like I said, when I said I spent a lot of time on this for what I normally do,
You spent some time, Big Dog.
Some time, and I'm pleased with it. And am I as pleased with it as I am with yours? No.
That shocks me.
No. Dude, yours is off the freaking chart.
I love it. I love it so much.
So, why don't you talk about it?
Talk about likes?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's not a dislike that I have about this. If I wanted to choose a dislike, granted how much I loved the medium, working with charcoal, I do wish that I could have visited this with graphite pencil. only for the sake of whenever I'm able to use graphite pencils, I can do the micro details. It was hard to do the micro details with charcoal, and I just tried to do it the best that I could. And God bless, guys, I am so sick and tired of trying to sharpen a charcoal pencil and that lead breaking every single time, or the charcoal breaking every single time, and just like, easy. Easy. And then I get this little bitty nub that pops out, and then I gotta sharpen it on sandpaper, and it's hell. It's hell.
You know,
Sucks.
there's probably somebody out there that might listen to this, and they have this down pat,
Right.
where they have a sharpener for it.
Yeah. Or
Sorry.
yeah. So that was the difficult part for me. Anyways, back on likes here. I like everything about it. I love it. And I love those, how like my details in my robot are so small, but you don't have to guess what they are, you know? And I wanted my robot to have the human form also with it. And I loved it. And I love the eye that he has also. I took some inspiration from General Grievous there from Star Wars, you know, General Kenobi. Yeah. And once I got that style in there, I was like, that's perfect. I'm not touching that eye again. And I love my realistic eye that's in the background just watching this happen. Gosh dang, I freaking love that thing so much. And I almost wish I would have made it bigger, but I think it's just perfect in the background right there. And it's looking at you and it's making eye contact with you. There's a lot of little details in that eye. I really like the clock as well, how that clock is just draped over his shoulder. And I love the shadow behind the clock also. It allowed for me to give some depth in that area that I felt like was pretty bland before I designed that clock on there. Yeah, gosh, I just love it. I love it. And I love the plating for it too, because I took inspiration from iRobot. So I wanted that white toned, almost biomechanical plating. So putting that on there, it was quite difficult, but I wanted, I was just thinking plate, chest plate, and the gears for arms. I also looked up a bunch of prosthesis, some prosthetics.
Oh yeah.
To take inspiration from those, and like looked at the gears on prosthetics and incorporated that into my robot, that worked out cool.
I did that as well because I wanted to try to capture those rotational areas.
Exactly, the moving areas.
Yeah. And
how I could, put that in there. I did have some more plating around his neck, but it kind of just got covered in my like muscle tone coils and stuff like that. But yeah, gosh, I just love it so much. And this is kind of weird too, and it was accidental. I love how deep that brain is in there. You know what I mean?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
It is, to me, there are 2, maybe 3 captivating areas of your drawing. One, the eyeball in the background.
Yeah.
That thing is just, to me, that is the surrealistic aspect of your whole drawing. I mean, I'm the whole thing. Don't get me wrong. The entire thing
really puts it in there, though.
Yes.
The
clock. I love the clock draped over. Adding that sense of time be gone. But yeah, the depth of that brain. Whew, man.
Yeah.
You nailed it.
I love my shading on that.
Yeah.
I also I wanted to do the deserty scene, but I wanted to take it to the next level a little bit, and I can't remember what the painting is called from Dolly, but I can't remember what it's called. Anyways, there's a little bit of flotation there in the background. So instead of putting the desert scenes at the bottom, and then this, big landscapey background potentially taking away from my robot here, I decided to put them floating and just push that surrealism a bit more with the design.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, I love it. I love it. I love it so much.
is just freaking awesome.
Thank you.
Man, like I said, Jordan, I feel like this is my top favorite of yours that you've done.
I feel like it was one that I was really just able to tap into the style again, you know? And I like it a lot. I've got a brand new appreciation for surrealism. I have so many ideas on more stuff that I want to draw. And I think I found my new favorite style. And that's so cool because the last 2 surrealism challenges we did, just freaking, I couldn't get into it, you know? I kind of got into the tattoo machine one, you know, but that was mostly because I was into the realism part of the tattoo machine. And then the surrealism part comes and I'm like, I don't know what to do. I'm just gonna ruin this. And then with this one, it just opened up a whole new door for me.
To me, that's one right there. Boom, right there on the wall.
Yeah, I'm excited to put it on the wall.
It's just
it
captures
everything. I want to see it painted too.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
That would be cool. But it captures everything that surrealism is meant to be.
Right, and that's what I wanted to do, you know?
Well,
I failed at my last...
Thank you. Nailed it.
I failed at my last 2 surrealism challenges, and this time I was just like, okay, nonsense aside, just tap in. This is a very interesting style, and if you push yourself into that world, turn off your modern brain, and find somewhere to go... I mean, my gosh, like you knock down that 4th wall and you get there and it's just cool, you know?
I don't think it's fair that you said you failed the last 2 surrealism challenges.
I didn't.
I think that they were important stepping stones to get you to this point.
Thanks. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah. I knew what I didn't want to do.
Exactly.
Yeah. After those 2.
So I think they were very crucial. They played a very crucial role in your ability to get to that point.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Right.
So I think all 3 of them you should be highly proud of because they're all 3 very highly, drawn pieces. But this one, it takes the cake.
Thank you so much.
What's Brent say?
He said, "Don't worry about the Mr. Robot." That's what he said. That's great.
What's the vote looking like?
Let me do a refresh.
I think it's going to be another tight one.
I think so as well. I think it'll just come down to preference, you know. You are at 45%. I am at 54%.
Awesome.
And the what does surrealism look like photo has 1%. They're going to steal our fire, you know. Yeah.
That's amazing. You got any more likes that you want to add to it?
I just love the whole darn thing.
Dude,
I just love the whole darn thing so much.
You did such an amazing job.
Thank you so much. Do you have any questions for mine?
You know, my question for yours, and I just don't understand how you got your brain to go to that point.
I literally meditated. I looked at 4 paintings, four surrealism paintings. I turned on this song called Overthinker. I'll show it to you after this. It's like it's a song about unconscious, you know, and like reaching your unconscious mind, and your conscious is not the cool, and all you have to think about is just thoughts. And I listened to that on repeat, and I just sat there and I just thought of like how I can relate, and it was so cool. It was a cool experience. It was such a cool experience, Adam. And it's so silly, just up there in my art studio.
I don't
just big chilling.
I don't think it's silly at all. I mean, you take
it took me to a next level of what art is all about.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, like I said, I don't think it's silly at all because, quite honestly, your friend, your friend that does all the surrealism stuff is just, it totally blows my mind, you know.
Oh, yeah. Her stuff is just incredible.
Yeah.
Just incredible. My gosh.
And I feel like this is knocking on the door of that.
Thank you.
What you've done, I just feel like that's knocking on the door of that. That's my own personal opinion.
Thank you, Adam.
I mean, I really truly love this.
Thank you.
But you know that's we hit on it all the time. That's why we do this.
Yeah.
Tell me you could do that day one.
No way. No way. Nope.
How many weeks has it taken you to get to that point?
21. Yeah, 21 weeks.
I mean, that's, to me, dude, 21 weeks ago, I'd have never been able to do what I did.
Right, exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I screwed around and drew an atlas.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but I don't think it's even in the same ballpark as this.
Oh, I don't think so at all. I think that you should redraw that.
I mean, it's just... I love how we are evolving.
I agree.
You know, I just freaking love how we're evolving and how far we've come and how we've tested our abilities, and we test them week after week after week.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, I think we both should be very proud of what we've done.
I think so too. I think they're both really strong pieces.
Yeah, it's just, man, they're cool.
They're cool.
But yours, in my opinion, takes the cake.
I don't know about taking the cake.
Oh.
I think, like I've mentioned before, it comes down to personal opinion. But thank you.
It does. And it's, you know, as we've said before, art is subjective.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the beautiful part about art.
Thank you.
You know?
Thanks.
It is subjective.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's just, again, it's incredible that we've come this, you know, that we've come as far as we've come.
It's pretty neat. And you can just, you know, go through our art book and see, like, what our first one was compared to what it is now. How much more we understand those mediums, you know? Our first challenge was in colored pencil. And if we did the same thing now, our pieces would look... I would probably still do the same design. But would I color it differently with the colored pencil? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And all the tricks and stuff that we've learned along the way. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. Totally agree. So I think we can jump into... We didn't really do much collaboration.
So my question for you on your piece...
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
...is with your charcoal, did you use any white charcoal?
No.
No white charcoal. No. Did you use jelly roll anywhere?
No.
Very nice, very nice.
That is done primarily with, as painstakingly as it was, that was primarily done with the soft charcoal.
Nice.
There's, like I said, there's very little medium charcoal in there. In fact, most of the medium charcoal is on the body panels themselves. So, because I just didn't want that real dark, soft charcoal.
Yeah.
I went with the medium charcoal on the body panels
to get the lighter shades.
To get the lighter shades to try to help with that metal look. But the you know, other than that, the rest of it is done in soft charcoal, and you understand as much as I do how much that was painful.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, definitely. On mine, I used white charcoal on my plating.
Oh, okay.
And I feel like that helped get that iRobot inspiration that I wanted to take.
Right.
For it with the different colored plating, and I wanted it to not, you know, I just wanted to give it a different character that the rest of the drawing did not have.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
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 But I feel like mixing the white charcoal with the little bit of black charcoal on there, it made it have that smoothness that I wanted.
I feel like that it feels like he's, you know, was at one point when he was a new robot painted white.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, that's what that's what I gather from.
Right. Yeah,
So-
I didn't want it to really appear as metal.
Right.
I wanted it to appear as that plating,
Yeah.
that the iRobot robots have.
Yeah. No, that's totally the feeling that I got from it. Or
Good.
I
Right
get
on.
from it. Not that
Yeah.
I got, but that I get from it.
And that is good.
Yeah.
That is
No.
good.
We didn't really collaborate a whole lot this week.
No, it was kind of neat. How did you feel about not seeing each other's stuff until today?
It was interesting.
It was interesting. I don't know if I like it that much. Like, I like it, but I also I do kind of miss how, like, before our weeks got so busy, collaborating with each other throughout the week and, like, working together on a lot of our pieces, And we've been so busy and so pulled away from that we haven't done that recently. And I was
We
kind of
haven't.
thinking, like, I miss that, where we'd call each other and talk about how excited we are about this area that we got on our drawing, or we'll call each other and we'll just draw on the phone together for like 4 hours,
Mm-hmm.
But our schedules have been so different and life has happened, so we haven't had that time.
I kind of wonder if, maybe to kind of get that feeling back a little bit is instead of collaborating, maybe we should just do a piece together.
Oh, that'd be cool. Yeah.
To kind of
Right.
fill that void of collaboration, because as we're finding out, we're not always going to be able to collaborate.
Right, yeah.
And-
We'll do that one day for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that would help to kind of fill that void of collaboration.
Yeah. Team building exercise.
Team building
Yeah.
exercise. Did you, other than trying to get your soft charcoal to sharpen, did you have any other issues with medium challenges?
So, I watched a lot of individuals and artists on YouTube throughout my week doing some charcoal artwork. And it's just like, holy crap, how do these people do it? And I want to get that extreme darkness in my drawing. I would really like to experiment with a lot of different charcoal brands, and maybe some real charcoal bits and stuff. I don't know. I felt like a lot of the parts in mine just weren't as dark as I wanted them to, and I'm here, putting it on there, and I just
Get in there.
yeah, exactly. And I just really wanted it to just be more saturated. I also, a lot of them like erase their charcoal and it comes out just that bright white. Like, how do you guys do that? You
Really?
know? Yeah.
Oh, see, I've not watched many videos.
I mean, they'll like color the whole thing black and then start, erasing the charcoal off to create this white lion, and it's so impressive and
Interesting.
right, yeah, very impressive. And I don't know how they do it. So I do want to experiment with that quite a bit and find out how I can bring out that bright white beneath the charcoal once the charcoal's on there. I think just experimenting with different brands is going to be the thing for that. So that was my medium challenge. I wanted to obtain a lot more white highlights than what I was able to achieve.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know that I think my challenges were kind of about the same.
Yeah.
Trying to get a sharp point on, I guess, something that doesn't want a sharp point.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Right.
There was that, and there's got to be a place for hard charcoal, and I've yet to find it. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you struggle with that or not.
I do struggle with that.
And then I'm kind of like you. I want to try other brands. I want to try other types. Mm-hmm. I just feel like I'm kind of right now locked in my own little bubble with what I have.
Right.
And I'd like to be able to expand that and really understand the differences. Is there a difference between certain types of charcoal? Is there a difference between different types of, or different brands, And, I think that's something that I'll try to do in the future.
Yeah.
is-
And I think that the brand thing speaks for itself. You have your charcoal powder. And I loved on the tattoo machine one that I did how dark that
It's-
charcoal powder was.
It's very dark, and you have to be very careful with it.
Yeah. And I love that deep black that it has. Now, the charcoal powder that I got, it's just like, dude, this is weak sauce. Like,
gotcha.
it is really light. Really light, yeah. And I don't like that at all. I wish I would have paid more attention to that. I definitely have to see, you know.
I wonder if they're labeled different. We're going to have to look at the 2 jars.
They're definitely labeled different. It's a different brand and everything.
Well, I mean, like I wonder, like, yeah, like hard charcoal, soft charcoal. I mean, I wonder about that. So, yeah, I mean, it sounds like we kind of we're challenged on the same things when it comes to the medium. So, got anything else to add to it?
Not really. I really love the pieces that we put out this week, and I love the experience that I had designing mine, and I love that it was so personal, and somehow I was able to relate to a robot, and that's kind of cool, you know?
It is. So, I guess with that being said, we should jump into segment number 2.
Yeah, the out with the old and in with the new.
All right, so new challenge is going to be...
Yes, we are going to be doing an angel. Done in graphite pencil.
Woohoo! Yeah. Graphite pencil.
And, gosh, what's our style? Neo-traditional.
Neo-traditional.
So that'd be cool. Another neo-traditional and graphite pencil.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't wait. I think it's going to be cool.
I think this one is going to be neat, too.
I really want to bounce back from my last neo-traditional and graphite pencil.
Yeah, definitely. Get there and be proud of this one that you have, like, coming up. And now, kind of like how we talked about my last 2 Surrealism challenges, now at the neo-traditional, what you did last time, you don't want to feel that way again. You know what I mean? So now you can take that experience and turn it into, okay, let me change this up and do something completely different within this style.
Exactly. And you kind of know, it's kind of like what happened to you through this last challenge. You've had 2 other challenges to reflect on what you don't want to do.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
And that's what I'm going to take, that's what I'm going to do with this one is I know what I don't want to do. So hopefully that pushes me into great things.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I agree.
Do you have
what has been your favorite neo-traditional design so far?
Hands down, no questions asked, Medusa.
Oh my gosh, I love the Medusa one.
Yep.
That was cool.
That was very cool.
Pretty sick.
But there again, we were also working in a medium that I've really found that I love.
The watercolor.
Dude, I've just totally fallen in love with them.
So, also, that being said, with our watercolor, we made some new changes to our mediums because neither of us enjoy pastels.
Or crayons.
Yeah, we don't. Those are 2 things that we do not want to revisit. Also, that being said, with pastels, it is hard and kind of impossible, it feels like, to do a lot of these styles in our challenge on a 10x7 paper. So we decided to take those out, and instead we changed it up a little bit. So our new things that we have is we gave ourselves an artist choice. Very happy about that one.
Yeah.
Also, since we enjoyed working with alcohol markers and charcoal so much together as a combined medium, that is now a combined medium that we have on our paper. And since we enjoy watercolor so much, we decided to do watercolor and colored pencils as a combined medium.
Yeah.
And I am very excited for our roll that we do next week once our page is updated.
Yeah.
And see if we get, the lower half of that sheet and find out the new stuff that we can do with it.
I know, I can't wait. It's going to be awesome to roll on it.
I know you're excited about the alcohol markers and charcoal.
I totally fell in love with that.
Yeah.
So that's going to be that to me is just like it's 2 mediums separately that I enjoy.
Exactly.
And then when you put them together, I feel like they can complement each other in so many different ways.
I agree. I totally agree. We also made some color palette changes because the triadic colors, it's great. The cosmic vibes, we have not liked every time we've gotten cosmic vibes. And then there was another one that I think we didn't like as well. The random 3.
The random 3.
Well, we felt like the triadic colors and the random 3
were kind of one and the same.
Exactly. Pretty much one and the same. So we threw down 3 new color palettes. We have a cool color palette. We threw down true colors. So what is true to that subject matter and its colors, earth tones and neutral tones. So that's pretty exciting. I'm looking forward to getting those.
The neutral tones is going to be interesting.
It will be, and I think that will be quite a challenging one. But if it is done, correctly, it is possible.
Yeah. That's going to be an interesting one. That's going to be a curveball one.
I agree.
Yeah, so Angel, neo-traditional, done in pencil.
Graphite pencil.
Yeah, be looking for it next Wednesday, January 21st at 5 o'clock. Yeah, it's going to be an interesting one. It's going to be a fun one, and sorry for the cat in the background, guys.
Yeah, featuring Simba.
Yeah. But,
all right, guys.
Yeah, I think that's it. You got anything else to add?
That's all it for me.
All right, guys. Well, thanks for tuning in to Talk Parlor number 13, where we discuss how we went head-to-head with our art challenges and put them up for your all's vote.
Be sure to follow us on Facebook at Parlor number 13 by JNA, as well as Instagram and Talk Parlor number 13 on YouTube. You can also find us on all of your favorite podcasting platforms. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment with your thoughts, and choose your favorite artwork whenever it goes up for vote. Keep the creativity flowing, and let your inspiration soar. Together we create, we inspire, and we transform art into a journey. See you all at the next challenge, and please, wherever you are,
be safe. Thanks, guys.
Awesome.
How do you feel?
That was a great one. Yeah, that was awesome. That went smooth.
How long did it take?
I have no idea. Our timer turned off. It is probably about an hour and 10 minutes, maybe an hour and 15.
Really?
Yeah.
That was a good one.
Yeah, it was.
I think it went as well as...
Gosh, I think it... Yeah, it does. I had to pee at like 5:45.